Alechem. Assalamu alaikum. Irini Maziso Pax Obiscum. Peace be unto you. Welcome to Third Book of the Kingdoms, aka First Kings, Chapter 1. We're starting a new book. You'll notice I'm whispering. It's because I lost my voice. I didn't completely lose it. I can still whisper. So, it's either no videos or videos where I'm whispering, so I'm sorry. I apologize. This is just the state of my health right now. So there are 53 verses in this chapter. Beginning in verse 1, describing King David, who was old and advanced in days, versus stricken in years. This is a continuous difference we see between the translations. Whereas old age is seen as like a sickness, stricken, you're afflicted, stricken in years, but advanced in days shows more respect towards the aging process. It says he was not warmed, versus he got no heat. Verse 2, wait on the king, versus stand before the king. So she's going to attend to him, versus just stand. Now I know it doesn't just mean stand, but that in our English, modern English, if I just say I'm going to stand there, it means I'm going to be idle. So that's not what it means, but it can be misinterpreted that way. It says to lie with him, versus lie in thy bosom. So it's one thing to just lie with him, whether that implies sexual things, I'm not sure at this point, but lying in his bosom is very specific. Verse 4, extremely beautiful, versus very fair. So she was very attractive, but extremely beautiful. That's another level altogether. I would say she's a 10 out of 10, or maybe even above that. Verse 6, checked him. His father never checked him. Talking about Adonijah. So, checked him versus displeased him. So I think it's similar. He didn't correct him. And he was very handsome in appearance, just like Absalom. Versus very goodly. Notice how the people tend to gravitate towards attractive men who seek to lead or usurp leadership from King David. Verse 8, it says here, did not follow Adonijah versus were not with. So it's one thing to be present with him. It's another thing to actually follow and declare allegiance to. So they did not have their allegiance with Adonijah. Verse 16. What is your request? This is King David speaking, versus what do you want? Now I know. That's essentially what he's saying in both. But in our modern day, when I say what do you want, it sounds rude. What is your request is more formal. Verse 20. No, moving ahead. Okay, we're skipping a lot of verses. Verse 36. It says here, Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, answered the king and said, so let it be, or Amen. May Adonai, Elohim of my Adon, the king, confirm it. So we're focusing on the confirm it part. Verses, may Adon, or Adonai, Elohim of my Adon, the king, say so too. So confirming it is more of an umbrella term, confirming I say, like, approving it, but saying so is like audible. You can hear it. Speak, right? Verbal. Verse 40, danced in chairs. Or choirs, sorry, did I say chairs? All the people went up after him. This is after they anoint King Solomon. And they danced in choirs. They danced in choirs. Versus they piped with pipes. Quaked with their voice versus the earth rent. So the earth didn't literally split. It's just the earth shook with their voice. Perhaps that's hyperbole. I'm gonna have to pause right here. So, the city resounded versus the city rang again. So in the Septuagint, it is recounting what is occurring. So Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet have anointed him, King Solomon and Gihon, and have gone up there rejoicing, and the city resounded. So the city is making noise. In the Masoretic, the city rang again, so it made noise before, and is making another noise, second noise. The sound is repeating. Verse 48, appointed one of my seed, so King David, the one speaking, Adonai, Elohim of Israel, who has this day appointed one of my seed, versus given to sit, or given one to sit on my throne. Why is this significant? I believe this could relate to the proto-evangelium, the prophecy in Genesis 3, talking about your seed, the seed of the woman, versus the seed of the serpent. And we know that the seed can trace itself from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to Judah, to King David, and is it through King Solomon? I'm not sure right now, but it is through King David in any case. Okay, so that's significant. It's his seed. My seed. Could be prophetic, related to prophecy. Verse 49, dismayed. All the guests of Adoniah were dismayed. So they were disappointed. Perhaps they were afraid, because it does say afraid here. That could be another way to understand dismayed. Maybe disheartened could be another synonym. And then it says there's an addition of, and they rose up. Obviously, they did rise up because they had to leave. They went their own way. Verse 52, valiant. If he, talking about Adoniah, should be a valiant man versus a worthy man. Okay, worthy versus valiant. So valiant implies bravery, courage, and uprightness to some degree, but being worthy doesn't really describe his bravery or courageousness. And then it says, there shall not a hair of his fall to the ground, but if evil be found in him, he shall die. So this judgment of Solomon is very profound, and it shows his character and wisdom, even at this point, even before he was given wisdom, divine wisdom. But if evil be found in him, okay, versus, but if wickedness shall be found in him. Evil seems a lot stronger to me. And then the last verse we're looking at is the last verse of the chapter. It says here, King Solomon sent, and they brought him, talking about Adoniah again, away from the altar. Okay, so verses down from the altar. In any case, both of them are referring to the place where Adoniah was making sacrifices. So they brought him from that specific altar of sacrifices away from that place. Okay, so that's all for this chapter. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Again, I apologize that I can't control that my voice is gone, but just make best with with my capabilities, with my abilities presently. Until next time, I bid you all Shalom Aleichem, Yivarechecha Adonai V'yishmerecha. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Irini Mazisu. Peace be unto you. May the Lord